Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And what makes one rental at a time different is I know my thing, but more importantly, I know what I don't know, and I go find experts in that area. So every Wednesday, we talk to Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, sir?
Pleasure talking to you, Mike. I think it's the same for me too. It's like even you've got a baseline knowledge and you know more than most on mortgage, but you start throwing things off of each other, whether it's investment real estate, whether it's mortgage, whether it's, throwing stuff off a CPA, you just get smarter. So yeah, I think it's a great idea to talk to professionals as much as you can. And that's how you sharpen your sword.
There you go, man. Well, thank you for coming back every Wednesday. So I just read some data from the Mortgage Brokers Association. It comes out every Wednesday. Said refi demand year on year is down 53%, down 11% week to week. Just because I have the data, purchase demand was down 2%, but 14% year on year, something like that. But you and I were talking, you're like, Michael, you ain't seen nothing yet. So let's catch people up on what's going on refi, because it's about to get
right
interesting.
Yeah. And I sat with a buddy of mine who does data for a big hedge fund. And, they track payoffs for refinances. And he agreed. I agree. I mean, you've talked about it before. When rates initially go up, everybody says, oh, this is going to quell demand. But before it quells demand, you get this last minute jump off the fence. Oh, shoot, I do want to do something. And I know it's happening because it's happening in my business and other businesses where people have hemmed and hawed and maybe I should refinance, maybe not. I think I want to take cash out. Once rates tick up, it's a sudden jump. And so those sudden jump last minute apps are cushioning this 53% decline in refinance. My prediction is next month or the month after, it's going to be off of a cliff, 75%, 80% year over year refinance applications. And it's pretty simple explanation of why. For a very long time, rates have been very low. And, a buddy of mine who works with data for a hedge fund talked about, the in the money amount of folks who have at least a 50 basis point incentive for refinance. That number has shrunk drastically, right? So only 20% of existing mortgages have enough incentive to refinance. And in that case, 50 basis points isn't a ton, right? So most of them probably shouldn't refinance unless they have a good reason. There's just not going to be rate and term refinance for the most part, right? Everybody's got, 3% or sub 3%. And so at 3.5, 3.75, wherever we, kind of settle in at, there's just not going to be reason for that. There's always going to be cash out refinances. There's going to be divorces. There's going to be all kinds of reasons why you have to refinance, but the choose to refinance because there's a financial benefit. Adios, amigo.
Yeah, no, and this is important. Again, folks, we brought this up weeks, if not months before the whole better.com 900 layoff via phone call. This is going to impact the mortgage industry, both if you are in that business, you might want to look around, but also it'll be acquisitions. There will be small fish will be gobbled up by medium fish, bigger fish will eat them little. So the industry will look very different, I suspect, in a year or so. Having gone through multiple contractions like this in other businesses, the big get bigger and the big gets stronger. And I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know if you see it the same way or not.
Yeah. I mean, I think some data out too, as far as like loan originators, 50% of them are going to be gone by the end of the year. That's something that's being talked about because, if you're not working off referrals, if you're not working off, relationships and adding value and doing right by people, you're going to have a tough time. The smile and dial and all the stuff that's going on. This is a good place to insert another public service announcement as well. More and more, every time I pull credit on somebody, I can't stop this. And trust me, I'm trying. All kinds of people are trying to legislate this stuff out. The credit bureaus sell the data that says Mike Zuber just had a mortgage credit report pulled. And then 8 to 10 lenders call you within 2 days. And just, that stuff has ramped up because we know mortgage companies are seeing this shrinking and shrinking pie and thinking to themselves, I don't want to starve to death. Let me, get this last sliver of pie by any means necessary. And so, that stuff's happening. They've always called and sold and used whatever tactics possible to get somebody. So if you're in the market to refinance, make sure you're getting sound advice from a sound professional. Quick plug for greatmortgagebroker.com. That's probably a good place to go. But I hate when I hear or see any deceptive practices and know that there's ultimately going to be some people that fall for it.
Yeah, no. Let me just say this. You need to go to greatmortgagebroker.com today. If you're following one rental at a time, hopefully my reputation, my diligence has worked. I support Matt, the mortgage guy. He'll listen. He asks questions. He is not the smile and dial. It's about to get icky. It just is. I have mortgage loans, obviously, and my phone has started to blow up. I have heard some very interesting voicemails. It's not a good time. If you've been thinking about a refi or a purchase, you need to get a mortgage broker that is on your side. And I can't recommend Matt, the mortgage guy, enough. Where do you want him to go?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. Somebody on the team will reach out, and we just want to ask questions to figure out how we can help, because for a lot of people it's going to be, no, it's probably not a good idea. And your time is valuable. I don't want to waste your time, and our team is large and we've got a bunch of resources, but there's no reason to go back and forth and spend a month worrying about something where on the surface, yeah, you're sitting in this rate, here's where current rates are, leave that alone.
Yeah,
that's the answer that you want to hear, versus somebody who's in a call center. Their only objective is to, how can I get this person to move on to the salesperson? And I think the initial call is always just like, do you want to take out cash out for a pool? Have you thought about landscaping? What about an extra bedroom? What about a kitchen?
How about credit cards?
Right. What about a 15-year? What about 20? And man, I let those people call me so I can listen and
it's bad.
See what's going on out there. So avoid that. Refinance is going to dry up quite a bit, and with that is going to have some folks a little bit desperate.
Yeah, what I'll say here is by March 15th, so roughly 2 months from now, just shy of 2 months, we will see 70% drop in refinance. You heard it here first, folks. Matt, thank you very much for all you do. And when do you do your live streams?
Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think I'm going to switch it to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in February. Did one at 3. It was a hit. I didn't imagine that people wanted to jump on at 9 o'clock Eastern and then stay until 10:30 when I ran an hour and a half. And so I've got one next Monday with a local appraiser who's amazing, Ryan Lundquist. That'll be our last 6 p.m. And then starting February, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, ask all the questions you want. You're going to get straight, honest answers. Sometimes people don't like the answers I give, but I give them honest answers.
That's why you're here. I cannot, like I always said, I can't guarantee a yes answer, but I can guarantee an answer. I hate maybe. Maybe
right.
Suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool, bud. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.